Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching. This is Pastor E here with Be the Week Ministries. Let's get into it. As you all know, this month we are talking about focus, and what that stands for is faith opportunities created upon surrender. So we're going to be coming out of Hebrews 11, and I'll be reading from the Amplified version because I just love it. Amplified version is going to be Hebrews 11, verse 4, and it reads, "By faith, Abel offered a more acceptable sacrifice than Cain, through which it was testified of him that he was righteous," meaning upright, in right standing with God. And God testified by accepting his gifts. And though he died, through this act of faith, he still speaks. Now listen, we're talking about our responses to faith and what that looks like. In this particular scripture, it talked about how Abel offered, he surrendered, he submitted, he gave God a more acceptable sacrifice. The one thing about it is our response to faith isn't about what we determine to be sufficient. It's about giving God what he desires. Abel understood that his sacrifice and his offering couldn't just be whatever he saw fit to give, whatever he saw fit to surrender. Faith allows us to understand that it's not about convenience. It's about obedience. It's about surrendering. It's about giving God what he desires. As I was doing my study, if you look throughout biblical history and have an understanding of different sacrifices and things that were given, you had to make sure that the sacrifice matched what the intent was. So like, you didn't give a grain offering when you were supposed to give a blood sacrifice. It just didn't work like that. It also referred to this particular sacrifice that they were giving as like a tribute. And when you think about a tribute, like in history, kings and things like that, when they acquired countries and regions, what I'm saying, a lot of times those regions, they had to give tributes to their king, right? And it wasn't something that, that they just decided, hey, this is what I'm going to give you. No, they provided what was requested, right? The king had that position where he could request what he needed for that tribute. And in this realm, it talked about how it was more acceptable. It means that Abel offered, he gave. His response was to offer a sacrifice unto the Lord that was acceptable. It wasn't something that was just convenient, just because this is what I have, but it was understanding that this is what the Lord is requiring. So our response to faith needs to match what's being requested. In this particular one, it was already understood. Like, this is what is expected. This is what is required. My response is going to have to match what's required. And by my act of faith, God was giving him his props. Like, because of his act of faith, it's why we still are even having this conversation today. This this particular scripture testifies about those who walked by faith and their response by faith. Faith requires a certain submission. It requires a certain action that follows behind it. So when you're giving God what you're giving God, when you say that, I walk by faith and not by sight, when God is requiring something of you, how are you responding to it? Are you giving him what he desires? Are you giving him what you determine? Think about it. All right, it's just a short, little brief tidbit. But as I always say, read it out, dig it out, find out for yourself. All right? I hope this was a blessing to you. And know that we love you. We love you. All right, bye.